Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about the time that I did a tax deed in Titusville. Now, Titusville is not usually the place you're going to be going to whenever it's about investments, but funny story. So, me and one of my best friends, we were like trying to figure out a way to get into like some form of creative investment, and we're like, okay, maybe we should get foreclosures. And I was like, no. I have been itching to try these tax deeds over here in Florida. So I already have my account. I was studying it for like a year. And then it just came down to the point where I just randomly submitted bids on things, and I was just like joking around with my friend. I was like, haha, it would be so funny if I actually got something. No, I'm not gonna get anything. And all of a sudden I get a call right, from this like phone company, and they're like, hey, we just want to say congratulations. And I'm like, this is a trick, like I didn't know what was going on. And they're like, oh, you have like 24 hours to pay like $9,000. And I was like, what's this for? I was clueless because I had submitted it and it was actually on the last bid. It was the last lot. So I was like, okay, whatever. And it was like the first time I ever did it. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing at all. And so I did it, and they told me this, and I was like, okay, shit, we won, yay! It's so exciting. And then all of a sudden, I dug a little bit deeper. I didn't really do proper research like you're supposed to. And I got really lucky, but I dug a little bit deeper into this property, and all of a sudden I found out it had $500,000 worth of code enforcement liens on it, and I almost died that day and never came back. I called my friend. I was like, dude, I just like bought a $9,000 lot, and this is the end of my life. I just was trying to become a real estate investor, and this is it. I'm done for. I'm gonna die. I haven't even started my life yet. It's over for me. And this is like our first more creative type of investment. She's just like, she was laughing at me, but she also felt really bad for me because it was like one of those, things where it's just like, damn, wow, I hope that you don't get screwed over, but you gotta kind of laugh at the humor in it. You buy this land for $9,000, and now it's 509,000. I think it's like 538 plus the 9,000. So of course I started calling attorneys, and I was like, I don't know what to do. This is what's going on. All these attorneys were laughing. They're like, haha, it's such a joke. And then I finally like met my attorneys, who I love, and they're like, no, that is not realistic. That has to go. And they started telling me like the story about like in Palm Bay, how like this girl, she couldn't actually like get the liens off of her tax deed thing, so she had to give up the contract and lose her money that she paid for the property, but she was able to get out of it without paying the code enforcement violations. And I was like, I really hope that's not me. And then I stumbled across, and I called the code enforcement, and like I was like, maybe it was just a joke, right? We went to the land, and there was like little notices posted, and we called the code enforcement. There was like several notices posted everywhere, and we called the code enforcement guy, and he's like, oh yeah, it's only like a couple $100 you got. And this is before hold on. Okay, so anyways, so he's like, oh, you're good, it's only a couple $100. So I went into the courthouse, and I paid it, and I bought the lot thinking, oh, it's only a couple $100. It's not the $500,000, And come to find out, there was actually $500,000 worth of code enforcement violations on it, and like my fears were coming into reality, and it was the end of my life. So fast forward, and the code enforcement guy calls me back. He's like, oh, did you get it up to code? And I was like, no. And I call my landscaper. I'm like, dude, I need some help. My guy goes out there, he fixes everything, makes it beautiful. And we ended up discovering through the code enforcement guy that there was like this program that we had to speak to like the city attorney, Chelsea, right? Yeah, Chelsea, she's really cool. She's really sweet. She like helped come up with this program, And she was explaining like the history of the lot to us, and she was like, okay, there's this thing and it's called an amnesty program, and basically it's for people who are like you and who go and buy these properties and they have crazy code enforcement violations attached to them, or like these types of liens, right? And they can't get them off, but they bought the property and they're screwed and whatever reason. It's a way for them to be able to bring the property to code and then basically pay out a max amount of money and be done with it, and it's even. You know, because the city doesn't want these properties just sitting like this, like all junky and gross, and you know, nobody is able to take care of them because like it's so high in code enforcement violations. So we got everything like done, fixed, up to code, applied to the program. Like you can't have any delayed taxes, no back payments, no nothing. Like you have to be very good with the taxes and paying your taxes, or you might not be eligible. And we ended up being eligible, getting approved, paying like $2,000 for it, and then we were basically good to go. So we got the clear, and now we're like going through the quiet title suit right now, currently with our attorney. But the cool thing is it's taken so long, right? And I bought this lot for like $9,000, you know, and I paid like maybe $4,000 in total to get the work done. But now the lot is like worth $30,000, and I'm like, it's right smack down in the middle of Titusville in the city, and I'm like, wow, this is like the biggest, like, little hidden, beautiful, crazy experience I've ever had. Because when I first started, I thought it was the end of me, and now that I'm like, you know, towards the end of it, I'm like, yay, I'm just waiting for the price of land to go skyrocketing again, because that's what happens with every freaking market craze. Like, the housing market goes whoosh, and then it goes whoosh, right? And then the land, when the housing goes like this, land goes like that. Over here, I don't know, for some reason. But it's gonna go like that again. And then I'm gonna be like, ding! Yay! Multifamily investment! Cash out at like maybe, I don't know, like 80,000? I can wish. I can be hopeful, right? But like at one point in Brevard County, like land was that expensive for like very small things that had like connection to water and sewer. And so maybe, I don't know, I'm hoping I get lucky, or maybe I can build something on it, like a little single family, or do a zoning change to multifamily. The only downside to Titusville though is that they don't allow like short-term rentals, and that's like the one thing that really makes me sad, because Titusville would kill it in short-term rentals, and they would bring up the value of their place so much, like so much. But yeah, that's the story of my tax deed experience. Now, there's some pointers for everybody getting into tax deeds. Make sure you know what's attached to the properties that you're bidding on, and don't be like me and be like, dee, 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 you know, because then you end up getting like, you know, potentially screwed over, and that's your entire life. Just make sure like the local cities basically that you're working in are friendly with negotiating on those code enforcement violations, or they have like the amnesty programs or similar types of programs where it's like a buy down at a cap, you know, like $2,000 cap or a $1,500 cap, or like a percentage cap, like reasonably with like a dollar amount cap. You know, all you gotta do is just call the tax office and be like, hi, you know, I'm thinking about doing a tax deed, purchase, sale, and attending the auction. If I buy a property and it has, you know, X amount of, you know, code enforcement violations, am I able to apply to a program and get that deducted to a couple thousand? Because like these programs are everywhere. Like they're literally everywhere. They're in multiple different states. They're in Florida. They're in different counties. They're everywhere. Like you just have to make sure wherever you're doing it, it's not going to be like, you know, not friendly. Like I guess Palm Bay was not friendly at some point. I don't know if that's still a thing in Palm Bay, where they're not friendly towards it. I hope that they have an amnesty program though, because that'd be really cool. I don't know that though. Titusville is the only place that I feel comfortable right now doing the tax deeds, because I know that for sure. But like again, it's very simple to just validate whether or not your local areas can do it. So yeah, that's my story, guys. And by the way, we are open for business for property management and real estate services. So if you need help purchasing a home, you want to get a multifamily investment, you want to get an Airbnb, you want to go and buy some land to do ground up, whatever you want to do, call us, text us, 201-952-4665. We're local to Brevard County, and we look forward to helping you. And we actually just onboarded our first agent, and I'm so excited for her. I'm going to have to introduce you guys to her. She is very sweet. She's very awesome, and she's gonna kill it. So we're very excited. We also just hired an employee. We're like hiring people right now. We're still hiring. So if you're like looking for work, please come work with us because we need workers, especially realtors. We give 100% commission. Come work for me. I can't talk. You know. But we give 100% commission to you guys, and we only take like $250 a transaction. You guys can go to the website and read exactly what we take from it. It's really nothing compared to like 20% or like, you know, what you guys are usually paying. I don't know if we're always going to stick with the 100% module. So like if you're wanting to be with a brand that's very serious in customer service, you know, I would join us now before we change our models, because like anybody that's with 100% from the get-go is going to keep that if we end up changing the models for payments. So yeah, that's it really. Thank you guys so much, and visit localpropertymanagementcompany.com if you want to check us out some more. Call, text, email, whatever, comment below. Speak to you soon. Bye.